Javier built a $50,000 a month business in 5 months, step by step with me. And today's show, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Today's show, I'm focusing on the progression from getting to $500,000 a year in an off-market real estate company. No matter what you're going to do with these assets that you find, whether that be flip, wholesale, develop, whatever you're going to do, I'm going to teach you how to find them and build a $500,000 revenue a year machine around that. And I'm going to use a real situation, a real example. So it's November now. Wow. Time has flown back in, I would say, I don't remember the exact date, May or June, maybe even April, May or June, my Inner Circle program. There was a guy that joined named Javier. And Javier is a real estate investor out of San Antonio, Texas, who actually migrated about 2 years ago to the U.S. from El Salvador with his wife and his kids. He was in real estate in El Salvador, and he still was working in W-2 up here in a similar space. And he joined the program. He had a bunch of deals under his belt, some flips, some wholesaling, and was looking to build his business and really grow and buy back his time. That's one of the main things I work with people on, is understanding their time. And so when Javier onboarded, and what the Inner Circle is these guys spend one day a week with me every single week. We're tackling one bottleneck at a time, one-on-one. So inch by inch, we continue to build their company and make good decisions every single weekend. I had him do the same exercise I tend to have everyone do when I start with them in any capacity. It's called the time audit. And so he spent the first week after we talked breaking his day up into 15-minute increments, understanding where his time was going. And like a lot of entrepreneurs, especially real estate people, a lot of our time was going to stuff that just does not move the needle. We're talking to title and escrow companies all day. We are on Facebook groups all day. We are calling random people for no reason. And we're not focusing on the thing that makes money and moves the needle, which is closing deals and talking to sellers. So his time audit came back, and like most people I work with, we found most of his time wasn't going to stuff that made money. And so the first thing I always do when I work with someone trying to get them to that $500,000 and then $1 million a year is first understanding that there's three parts of a business, right? You have LCO, leads conversion, and then operations. You also have AP, personal, right? And I'm going to talk about that eventually, because that's a big part of Javier's story. And a lot of guys I work with there's the personal side. On the lead side, the lead flow is just not there. He wanted to hire a lead manager. He wanted to build a team. He wanted to buy back his time. But if you don't have leads, you don't have revenue. If you don't have revenue, you can't do much. And so the first thing we did is we solved this lead flow. I put him on a outbound marketing plan, because to me, that's the most controllable, scalable plan. And he started with texting and cold calling. And obviously now that if you're watching this in November, texting's gotten a lot harder, but he was texting and cold calling, and we got his lead flow up to, as of October, his October lead flow was 160 leads in 1 month. When I started with him, he was getting 5 to 6 leads per week. So he, 6x, 7x his lead flow. That was the first thing we tackled. We did it a mix of two ways. He hired 2 cold callers from easybuttonleads.com, and then he hired a texter. And we got his lead flow fixed. Once we got his lead flow fixed, and that's the thing you guys have to understand. And I put out a poll the other day on my Instagram about this. I put out a poll to investors of what they're struggling with, and 70% of the answers of the hundreds of people that took that quiz was lead flow. They're struggling with leads, getting enough leads in the door to move the needle in a meaningful way. And if you watch this video, that's probably your problem, because if you want to hire, you want to build, you want to scale, if we don't have enough leads in the door, nothing else matters. And so the first thing I had him do was, okay, we got to get enough leads at the door, tackle that. And then I focused on, instead of going right to conversion and building his sales side, I wanted to go on the operation side. So what we did, we looked at, we built out his org chart, which was an exercise all you all should do, is build out an org chart. And we really understood the hiring ladder. What the hiring ladder is, it's a 5-step ladder of understanding how to scale your business. It's admin, fulfillment, marketing, sales, and leadership. So in a real estate business, especially in, an off-market lead generation business, admin are things, what for him was calendar, Slack, KPIs, payroll, transaction coordination, anything that was, repeatable tasks that could easily be handed off that weren't client facing, right? Weren't sales. And so we handed off a lot of those admin tasks. We made sure his organization was in place. We made sure he had a good reporting process for his team. He had good team meetings. He had a good meeting templates, kind of using Traction and EOS. He understood how to run good meetings. He understood how to lead his team. He understood how to build culture. He understood how to build the commander's intent and scorecards and build a solid organization with a small team that he had. Once we got that dialed in, so we had leads and we had organizational health with meetings, reporting, vision. Everyone understood the culture. Once that was dialed in, then before I tackled the conversion, I had tackled with him personal side. And that's understanding as a business owner, you get punched in the face over and over and over and over and over again. You have to understand how to show up every single day present and calm, because the reality is shit's going to go wrong. And when shit hits the fan, if you're not calm, cool, and collected and your team gets a whiff of you're anxious, you're stressed, you think everything's falling apart, that's going to not be good for your culture and your organization. So we built practices for him around daily writing, taking care of himself, and keeping himself in a good headspace so he could keep his team. He could be a good leader. And once we had that down, then we moved into sales. What we tackled on the sales side of things is, as we first said, is our lead flow enough to get a salesperson? Nope. But was it enough to get a lead manager? Yes. And so he went and he hired a lead manager through the same company that I talked about, cold calling, easy button leads, and someone to work his pipeline full time and kind of become part of his organization. And so he hired that lead manager, and that lead manager started working his pipeline every single day. So he could, because he's still working in W-2, so that Javier could do one thing and one thing only. And that one thing only was talking to sellers and selling deals, because that's the last thing in a lot of that you delegate, right? You delegate the admin work, boom, we got that done in the first couple months. We delegate the marketing, boom, we got the marketing out of the way. We delegate the fulfillment, boom, we got the fulfillment out of the way. Then the last thing, sales. And a real estate acquisition company, that's acquisitions and dispositions. That's working with sellers and working with buyers, okay? Because I'm having him focus on building that wholesale machine first. So that's what he hung on for. And talking right now, you guys, right now I'm helping him hire a sales guy, but he's still covering that sales level. In October, he just did his $50,000 a month. So the blueprint works to get you to $50,000 a month. Very simple. You can do it in 3 to 4 months. Okay, so what did he do? The first thing that he did, fix the problem that organization has to fix before they have the right to fix anything else. And I say it a lot, but you have to earn the right to solve problems in business. A lot of entrepreneurs stall out because they're trying to solve issues they just do not have yet. Okay, if you're doing $300,000 a year, you don't need to be worried about going to hire a COO. If you're doing $500,000 a year, you don't need to be going out and hiring someone on the HR side. Okay, so solve problems that you actually have the right to solve. And the first thing that Javier had the right to solve was lead flow, because no matter who he wanted to hire, what he wanted to do, he didn't have leads, he didn't have pipelines, he doesn't have deals coming in. So we found out where his time was going. We got rid of the busy work. We got lead flow fixed. And then once we got the lead flow fixed, we worked on the personal side, the mindset, the psychology, that becoming a leader, understanding how to build culture, create intent, and lead an organization in a direction you want to go. We found out how to not micromanage, but manage based on end-of-day reports and real feedback and real data. We got all of his KPI tracking, his advanced data tracking in place. And then we could focus on what actually mattered, which is talking to sellers, talking to buyers. And that changed his life, right? Because all he does is wake up, he works his W-2, he talks to sellers, talks to buyers, and now we're filling those roles in his organization too. But he just cracked $50,000 in October, and he got up on about 8x return on ad spend. So $30,000 a month, $30,000 profit a month while working a W-2 in October for Javier. And you can find his testimonial on our page that I put on my Instagram. But incredible guy, smart guy, but a normal dude. And he'll tell himself, like, anyone can do it. He migrated here 2 years ago from El Salvador with his wife and his young children, working in W-2, and still had time to go out and build this machine to $50,000 a month. And you do have to take some calculated risk, but there is a blueprint that works for this, you guys. And so if you can do two things from this episode: do a time audit, understand where your time's going, get rid of your admin work, hire a $5 an hour executive assistant, get rid of your admin work, fix your marketing, your leads, and then spend the time on what matters, conversion. And then you'll continue to fill your org chart as time goes on. You'll buy back your time more and more and more as you scale. But you guys, it's really not rocket science. There's so many courses, softwares, tools out there. I didn't put Javier in any fancy softwares. The CRM head that we was using, we kept. His phone system his team was using, we kept. You guys are worrying about the wrong things. We focused things that actually were causing the problems. If you're getting 2 leads a day, your software system doesn't freaking matter. If you're getting 2 leads per day, you can't hire a salesperson. If you're getting 2 leads per day, it doesn't matter how good you are at sales, you don't have no one to talk to. And so solve the problems that matter and that are obvious in your business. And business is really simple, you guys. On paper, you write down every problem your business has, and you label them in terms of importance to solve. And you wake up every single day, and you show up to every single problem, and you sit down, you stare at the problem, you go, can I systemize this? Can I automate this? Can I delegate this? Can I delete this? If you can do one of those 4, you don't have to do it. So if Javier wakes up and he looks at all the problems in his business and said, hey, our lead flow's not there. Can I systemize this? We don't have lead flow yet. There's nothing to systemize. Can I automate this? Not really. Can I delegate this? Yes. And he went and hired cold callers from an agency, and he went and hired a texter. Cool. Got that problem solved. Move on to the next problem on the list. Crap, I'm doing a ton of busy work in my business. Can I systemize this? Yes. Can I automate this? A lot of it, yes. Can I delegate this? Yes. so he doesn't have to delete it. Then he might go, well, I'm also tinkering around with softwares all day. I think I have a software problem. No, you can delete that. So again, if you do that for 3 years, you go down the list, you systemize what you can systemize, you automate what you can automate, you delegate what you can delegate. You're smart with the money your company brings. You follow a profit first model where you're not killing your company account every single month with taking a ton of dollars out. And you do that every single month, you will be in a really good place as long as you can stay consistent, keep the blinders on, and not jump from opportunity to opportunity. Because most people, you guys, the reason they're jumping from business to business or extra strategy, or Airbnb to flipping to development is because they get to the point where they have to build a business and they realize they don't want to do all the boring work. So they want to jump to the next opportunity that gives them that high. They go tell their family what they're doing now, and it's a never-ending roller coaster. So do the boring work, stick to it. Listen to this episode 2 or 3 times and get after it. That was a good show, you guys. A lot of action-packed value there. Please watch it back a couple of times and understand that business, you guys. The simple part is understanding what to do, and it's executing, dealing with the stress, the anxiety, the emotions. If you can block off 4 hours a day to focus intensely on your business, on your current bottleneck, to either systemize, automate, delegate it, or delete it, you will be in a very good place over time. And doing that every single day, you will build a successful business if you're actually putting in those hours. So as always, if you can like, share, comment, review, send me a DM about the show, any guests you want to see on here, things of that nature. We have a couple cool guests coming up in a couple weeks as we continue to grow the Off-Market Operator show and community. Quick plug. I don't ever usually plug anything, you guys, but if you guys are at a place where you're trying to jump from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and build a business, reach out to our team. We do have some openings in that Inner Circle program. I'm not going to hard sell it to you guys, but if you are looking to get one-on-one help, we do have really good coaches and a really good team there. So without further ado, you guys, a like, a share, a review means the world to me as we spread the Off-Market Operator show and help entrepreneurs and real estate investors all over the country learn to source more deals and scale their real estate company and build a business. Without further ado, like always, you are one deal away.